Buffalo Rangers video blog entry number 1. The Commuter. About 6 months ago I decided to change out my mountain bike handlebars and switch them out for Bullhorn handlebars, and then wrap those handlebars live for the first time with no experience for the beginning of this YouTube channel. Do I regret taking that path? We'll have to find out. But hopefully at the end of this video, you will be able to have a quicker path to being able to wrap your own Bullhorn handlebars. It was a long time ago in a neighborhood far away, and a man was sweating as he worked his way up a hill, drenching on his acoustic transport bike, wondering why he was trying to commute to work on a bicycle when he could just drive his car. Then came the baby maker by Superhuman Bikes, an e-bike that rescued him, having to pedal like a normal human would to get to work. This e-bike was fantastic. First of all, you couldn't tell it was one. It did 20 miles an hour uphill, and it pretty much seemed to solve all of his problems. He was commuting to work quite frequently. Unfortunately, the baby maker was not perfect. While it did make him seem superhuman, it was obvious that there were some problems. It was a mountain bike handlebarred e-bike, so he could not get up the second floor and make it up to the staircase where he stored his bike. This was a problem. Also, its significant girth made entering doors a rather unpleasant situation, and it made it heavy, and it also rode a little funny. So what does a man to do? Well, channel his inner Ryan Holiday and quote says, as Epictetus would say, do not discuss your philosophy, embody it. And so I set out to replace these mountain bike handlebars with something better, Bullhorn handlebars. Before I could begin that, though, unfortunately I had a major medical situation. So after I decided to do this, about a week or two later, I found myself in the ICU. That delayed things quite a bit. But once I got back on, I decided, hey, since I couldn't do anything, let me begin. Okay. To the prime bits, to wrapping the handlebars. All right, first thing you have to do is source your handlebars. Make sure you find the right gauge for your stem. That gauge number is written on your stem. You make sure that you find that number before you purchase your stem. If you don't get the right number, it won't fit. All right. Getting the handlebars off. Making sure you have the right set of tools. Unfortunately for me, while I did this, the first time around, I got all the tools I thought I needed. I did not make sure that I actually had the hand strength to actually do this. I was still injured, and I was not able to turn a wrench. So, some delays. However, when I finally did get going, I did get everything off happily, and then I realized I don't know how to take brakes off. So that took a bit of learning to figure out what I needed to do, and it turns out that I needed to bend some metal. After I bent that metal, got the brakes off, got the right set of tools to take the brakes off, I was able to replace the Bullhorn handlebar. Fantastic. Now what to do with brakes. Make that happen. I was able to locate them in a few different spots. First, I tried the traditional space that I Googled. Now, this is a good looking space. It looks great on here. However, I know that I was going to be riding aggressively and quickly, so I didn't want to have my brakes so uptight and real close. So I wanted to make sure that they were where I was going to be riding and anticipating. And so far that's worked out. I've got to be honest, that has been the right decision for me. I like where they are, but in order to have them sit there, they're going to need their own padding. Otherwise I was going to be sitting on a bolt. That wasn't going to work out. You can also get the other brake types where they are at the top of the Bullhorns. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to messing with a new kind of brake system. That just didn't seem like something that was going to suit what I wanted to do at the time. So I didn't go with that. I went out with a slightly different way. Last thing is that the tip that you need to know for which way to wrap your handlebars is whichever way you're going to be pushing on the handlebars when you're riding. You need to go the opposite. So when you're riding your bike, you're going to be pushing
over those handlebars. When you're holding onto them, you're going to be holding over the handlebars. So therefore you want to wrap over, coming back over on top of those handlebars in order to get handlebars taping that's going to stay secure, even like the ones that I have that don't have any adhesive on them. These are just freestanding. They've held up just fine. Tape the bottom, tape and the end cap at the top. Go ahead and just wrap them there. When you're wrapping them, you want to make sure you give it the spacing of about half of that next tape, so that way it's an overlap of about half, so that way it sticks together and you'll have enough tape to reach the end. The tape manufacturers have these things pretty well figured out. You can always trim the very end top before you cap it in. So keep that in mind.
Through the last wrap, and don't go over tight, you know, and you can feel when you're really stretching it. So if you're finding yourself struggling, you're doing too tight, just a nice firm wrap all the way around, and make sure that at the very end you go ahead and tuck those tips in and tap them in. Now, I didn't quite do that the right time the first time, so I had to go back, trim them, and get them in later when I was stronger. That's it. Now let's go to the regrets. Do I regret doing this on film and having all of you guys see it? The only regret is that it took me so long.
So far it's on the non-regret side of things. Do I feel like maybe I should have gotten some more comfortable tires? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
Also, the bike looks good. People stop me. I am kind of an ambassador for e-biking now because people are surprised that my bike is an e-bike. It's a bit of a sleeper. It's very simple. No one gets mad at me when I'm riding it. I'm not getting the "hey, you e-biker" kind of, you know, thing. So that's been kind of a unique situation. And the interesting part is I've become more of an advocate and more interested in road safety and how we engage with private citizens, how we engage with governmental organizations and non-governmental organizations to really get out the information and keep us all safe out on the road. And thank you to the people that have been. I really appreciate the work that's been done. And that's really the best parts of that. So definitely no regrets. The next thing I want to be able to do is add a bit of more customization to the bike, which is make it more roadworthy. So if anyone out there would like to leave a comment below to let me know what kind of tires are going to be the best kind for a commuter. I live in an area that's going to be getting some rain. It's going to be getting a little bit of snow. It typically doesn't stay long, but I want to be able to still continue to commute with that. I'm wondering if I need to get some mud guards, but that's kind of where I'm at. I just want to make this bicycle more and more roadworthy.
If you like this video, go ahead and watch this one here about my